Right now we're in the Tank Museum workshops. Now this is normally a hive of activity and obviously will have been very, very busy in the days leading up to TANKFEST, but right now, as you can see, I don't think I've ever seen it as quiet as this. With the exception, of course, of the Rolls-Royce armoured car, which is going to be driven into the arena with the Tank Museum director tomorrow, Saturday, the first day of TANKFEST. Those of you who play World of Tanks might recognise this thing from the 100 Years of the Tank special mission where you have to escort the Mark IV tank. That's it right there, the Rolls-Royce armoured car. Now, at the minute, there aren't any vehicles in the workshop here. They've all been moved out. They're getting ready to do the mock battle reenactment rehearsal later on this afternoon, and then they're going to be laid up in the tank park, ready to move out into the arena for TANKFEST itself. But there are still a couple of vehicles in the hangar over there, so we're going to go over and take a look and see if we can find any of the engineers who have been working on the vehicles and prepping them for TANKFEST and find out what sort of preparations they've had to undergo in order to get these machines ready to see the public. Right then, we're here in the other section of the workshop, and this is Brian Frost, star of Stage Screen, Dockyard Canteen, and also a movie star. Brian was one of the Sherman tank crews in Fury, weren't you?
Yeah, it was quite an event.
Yeah, well, this is obviously not the vehicles that were chosen for TANKFEST, and we're going to talk to Brian a bit about, well, why these vehicles weren't chosen and what sort of work they do to prep the vehicles in order to get out there and see the public for TANKFEST and show their stuff in the arena. So, Brian, any particular reasons why none of these vehicles were picked for TANKFEST?
Just because basically the British Army is going to bring their own modern day versions,
yep.
And these wasn't in the lineup for this year.
Sure.
As you know, TANKFEST finishes, a new planning starts next year, you know, so it's always busy, but these vehicles are just not this year. So
yeah.
Maybe another year.
Obviously the British Army, they bring their own engineering vehicles out just about every time, don't they?
Yeah, demonstration, but nice to show it all, but at the end of the day is time.
So how long, roughly, from the start of, once you pick the vehicles that were going to be ready for TANKFEST, how long do you think it took to get you to the stage where they were ready to go out?
Well, first of all, we do the servicing on them,
yep.
Make sure they're serviced, truck adjusting, the whole lot, you know. Usually they could be in for 2 days, they could be here for a week. Depends on the work.
It just depends on how much work needs doing on each individual tank.
Yeah, and because we've got so many different tanks, there's a lot of things to do, so throughout the whole year we're trying to fit them in and get them all ready so they are ready for TANKFEST.
Right.
You know, so yeah, kind of busy.
Well, thanks very much.
No problem.
Cheers.
Okay.
Hi everybody, we're at TANKFEST 2017. Woohoo!
Go
I'm Matt
TANKFEST.
Daly from Wargaming Special Projects, and we have with us today the effervescent and needs no introduction, Mr. Jingles.
He's going to introduce me anyway.
Today, very specifically here, we're in the Tiger exhibition space, an unprecedented collection of Tiger tanks, some of the legends of the tank world.
But we're missing one, aren't we?
Yeah, we are. We have, what do we have here? We have Tiger 2.
Tiger 2 with the Porsche turrets, we have Jag Tiger, we have Tiger 2 with the Henschel turrets, we've got the Ferdinand, we've got Tiger 131.
Right.
But there's one that we're missing.
And that's why we have this open space right here.
That's right.
It's the legendary and very rare Sturmtiger.
That's right.
So with World of Tanks, we thought, well, our friends at the Tank Museum have a mostly complete collection of Tigers. There's one that's missing, the Sturmtiger. As it happens, we had a tank in our game called the Sturmtiger.
It was hidden in a garage on one of the Russian maps, wasn't it?
Right, yes.
Yeah.
You could clip through, right?
That's right. You
the
could
geometry.
If you just got to because the door was slightly ajar, and it didn't take long for somebody to realise that hidden inside, you could just peek through the door and see the Sturmtiger in there.
Right.
Yeah, so the model was in the game.
Little tease, right?
Yeah.
Like it could be there. It was there. We still have the 3D model, obviously, so we thought, why not take that asset, that 3D asset, dress it up a little bit, because it's a little bit of an older generation model.
Yeah.
And make it do some crazy stuff, and use this technology, HoloLens, and Google Tango device, which is a tablet version of a similar type of technology and complete the collection. Right?
Sounds like a good idea to me.
Really great. And so we're at the stage now where this tech is just ready to accomplish that goal, right?
Okay.
And so that's what we're going to demo today.
Can't wait.
So this is the public installation version of the experience. This is what the average visitor to the Tank Museum will see.
Yeah. Okay.
So you want to demo it?
Yeah, why not?
Okay.
Let's have a look.
Just pick it up and press start.
Okay. Simple instructions, even I can follow those. There we go. Right.
Point it, and then
Oh, yeah.
you can come around to the front as long as the cable will allow you to,
Yeah.
basically.
So, okay, it's coming through the back wall. Well, if you're picking this up, check that out. So that's the Sturmtiger, and well, yeah, and you can see the scale. I don't know if you can because I've moved the handset, but right next to the Tiger.
Give you some armor comparison.
Oh yeah, check that out.
So at least the front.
150 millimeters of armor. Holy cow.
Yeah, there's a bunker on tracks.
Yeah,
Bunker buster on tracks.
and of course it's sloped as well, so you're probably looking at 230 effective.
Spoken like a true tanker.
Hey, it's firing. Check that out.
You got the Tiger 1 shell for comparison
Yeah.
next to it.
Look at the size of that. Whoa. It's coming right at us. That is impressive.
So we've tried the
The handheld,
handheld.
the one that's going to be available to the public.
Correct. If this is now, then this is something like maybe 5 years from now.
Right.
This is a 2,500 quid, $3,000 device, right? So
Okay, so
slightly out of reach of the average.
not really for
hobbyist.
general use just yet.
Right.
Right.
But it does work is
Yeah.
the most important part. And so it does basically the same thing, but the difference is that the object is present in front of you.
Yeah.
And it's intuitive in a way that a tablet cannot be.
Right.
It just goes. And as long as the object is fixed, then all you have to do is walk around it and experience it.
Sounds like something I need to see.
I think you should.
It's good to be me.
So you can walk up to it now. You can walk up to and around it. You hear it, right? You hear David?
Yeah, I can hear David's commentary, and I'm seeing the cutaway view. It's weird because I know there's nothing there, but I don't want to walk into it. I'm taking care to not walk into the thing, even though there's nothing actually there, but you can see the interior. And right now it's actually firing a rocket.
The rockets
Right.
created toxic fumes and
You're seeing the
Yeah.
outgassing in the front, right?
Yeah,
to protect the crews
that is incredible.
placed around the barrel.
That's the thing about this augmented reality and virtual reality stuff is it looks absolutely incredible when you're sitting here looking at it. Right now, I'm actually looking right down that massive gun barrel, which is, it's like I'm putting my hand inside the barrel. I can only imagine what kind of idiot I must look right now. But that is phenomenal. Well, we're here in the control tower at the Tank Museum for TANKFEST 2017, which is the nerve centre of the whole operation. This is where it all happens. We're here with the curator of the Tank Museum, David Willey. We have met before, haven't we, David?
We have indeed.
We have. And, well, you're just going to tell us what happens here in the control tower.
So what goes on? General commentator is Simon Ledger here, who keeps us to task. Simon, hello. Thank you for saying hello. And Jingles here.
Morning, David. How are you?
So Simon does the kind of like the linkage, the background, keeping things in, and he's just done the British Army display for us. And then what we tend to do is we swap over. We've got Stuart here keeping an eye as well on all the messages coming in. How do we sort out the lost child? What's a good time to go and buy your strawberry mivvy? That sort of stuff. So we keep an eye on that sort of stuff. And at the back here we have sound, just keeping an eye as well for music. Other sort of announcements, making sure we try and get the sound levels right. And we're not all swearing in the background because something's not happening and it's all going out over the microphones all the time. But as you can see, we've actually just got a fantastic panorama of the arena as a viewpoint. That's why this tower was actually built. As part of the original designs for the lottery project, we had hoped to have a lift coming up to the top, but like all of those things, they get cut.
That would have been
budget.
nice.
Yeah. So one of the things we all have to do all the time is remembering when you climb the stairs, as you've just discovered, give yourself a few minutes to calm down before you start talking. Otherwise, all you do is pant down the microphone. But it is a good viewing point. Yeah. The issue is we can see when vehicles are ready to come in and everything else. At the same time, you'll often hear in the background the fact that what we're trying to work out is we're dealing with 60, 70-year-old vehicles, so inevitably things are going wrong somewhere. We're trying to get a message. Can they have a couple more minutes? Can we infill? Can other things happen?
Stall them.
Exactly that. Yeah. So, and also trying to pitch as well, so people actually understand and learn something.
That's
it's
right,
real
yes.
an educational.
At the end of the day, you're a museum. You're here to educate people on tanks.
Yeah. So there.
I think that just about covers it. Very professional. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello everybody, we're here in the Vehicle Conservation Centre at the Tank Museum. It's only open to the public a couple of days a year, TANKFEST being one of them. Obviously here for TANKFEST 2017. I'm here with Richard Cutland from Wargaming. He's the head of military relations for Wargaming. He's been promoted. Well done, Richard. And we're just here to talk about Wargaming's involvement with TANKFEST.
Hey Jingles, how are you? Very nice to see you again. Third time we've actually sponsored TANKFEST, fifth time we've actually been to the show. Very pleased that, as you can see, the turnout has been unbelievable this time for it. A couple of real reasons, big things this year, obviously the release of the Premium Tank Tiger 131 in-game as well, which we hope will be well received, and also our Sturmtiger AR experience, which we've got over in the Tiger exhibition.
I've seen that, it's great.
It is great, it is fantastic, especially with the HoloLens on there, really, really good, and hopefully something that we're going to sort of roll out to perhaps a few more museums throughout the globe, but there you go.
Onwards and upwards, you never know your luck. Right, well, Richard Cutland, Wargaming's head of military relations, here in the Vehicle Conservation Centre at the Tank Museum for TANKFEST 2017. Richard, thank you very much.
Welcome, mate.
Hi, we're here at TANKFEST with the legendary David Fletcher in front of the Rolls-Royce armoured car, just outside of the edge of the arena where there's an awful lot of excitement going on as the British Army demonstration is in full throes. We're competing with the noise of the Challenger's engine there, as well as the gunfire, so hopefully you can hear what we're saying. But we're going to talk to David about his Tank Chats videos. The first question that I wanted to ask you, David, was what it takes you to prepare for one of these videos, because we do get the impression that the museum just sort of put you in front of a machine and say, David, talk about the tank, we'll be back in half an hour, and they come back when you're finished. Is it really that easy, or do you have to prepare?
With most of the British Second World War stuff, I can cope off the top of my head. I tend to delve into certain books that I'm more used to, but no, I can do most of it pretty well off the cuff.
We do kind of get the impression that if it's British in World War II, you don't need to do much research because you basically wrote the research.
Well, I've been doing it for so long, I blooming well ought to know.
Exactly, yes. The second question was, with the success of the Tank Chats videos, do you have anything else planned?
Not really. I've got a few more Tank Chats I want to do, mainly now on American tanks in British service and on the funnies, which are my particular favourite. I want to do them shortly. But apart from that, no, nothing really.
So pretty much same old, same old. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Just keep doing what you do.
That's the best thing, yeah, that's what I'll do, yeah.
And sort of related to the success of the Tank Chat videos, one thing that's always interested me and I've always wanted to know is how are you dealing with your newfound fame and popularity on the internet?
I'm terrified of it, and I tell you, I don't have much to do with it, but coming here for a couple of days is asking for trouble. You've only got to walk out, as you know yourself, walk out amongst the public and you're recognised and set upon at once.
Yeah, I know how that feels. Anyway, David Fletcher of the Tank Museum, thank you very much. Pleasure to meet you, and thanks for talking to us.
Thanks a lot.